So hi everyone, hope you're well and looking forward to our Dharma class, our Zoom Dharma class. Let's do the chanting. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tadayampi Buddham saranam gacchami. Tadayampi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Tadayampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from the happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, about to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, about to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, about to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, about to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata gati gati parasam gati bodhisoha. Tayata gati parasam gati bodhisoha. Tayata gati parasam gati bodhisoha. So, time for some meditation. So let's release the tension from the body to start. You may have some tension, some aching bits that you can't release because it's such a thick habit, or maybe you hurt yourself a little bit or something like that. But do your best to release the tension. This will help you to release the tension in the mind too. So whatever tension you can release, release it. Starting at the tips of your toes and work your way all around your feet. And as you concentrate on these areas, release whatever tension may be there. So release from the toes, from the bottom of the feet, the balls, the arches, the heels. Top of the feet. Around your ankles and Achilles tendons. from your lower legs, shins, calves, and from all around your knees and upper legs. Quads, hamstrings, and release from your midsection, from around your hips, groin, glutes, just above your hips and lower abdomen, lower back. Work your way gradually upwards to the center of your back, up your sides a little, up the abdomen more, and from your chest area and underneath your arms and your upper back, from the rhomboid muscles, lateral muscles, and from the upper trap muscles that are between the neck and shoulders, and also from your shoulders, from biceps, triceps, and elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers, and thumbs. And then up to your neck, and release from the front, sides, and back of your neck. And the back of your head, the sides of your head, around your ears and temples, and from all around your face. So release from around the cheekbone area and the cheeks. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw, from your chin, your mouth, both inside and outside. Release from your nose and sinuses, and eye sockets and eyes. And from your forehead, make sure you're not frowning. And finally, the crown of your head. So now you can scan the body again from the bottom to the top, briefly, quickly, and if there's any leftover tension, release it. And now bring your focus to the tip of your nose initially. And the object of the meditation is the feeling of the breath as we breathe in the nose, all the way into the lungs, back out the nose again, and so on. So all you have to do physically is breathe. All you have to do mentally is focus on the breathing and replace your mind back onto the breathing if you get distracted. So breathing in, breathing out. Focusing on the most important physical thing that we do. Without the breathing, no life. Just like a painter needs a surface to paint on, a canvas or something. No surface or canvas, no painting. Not too tight, not too loose, not too much, not too little. Enough effort without making too much effort. And relaxing, but not relaxing, falling asleep. So focusing on the breathing, feeling of the breath. If thoughts arise, or any mental activity arises, don't cling to it or grasp at it. Also, don't try to force it away either, or deny it, but simply and naturally let it go as you replace your mind back onto your breath. And if your mind becomes dull, then wake it up a little bit by refocusing on your breath more brightly. And you can also add the extra technique of counting the breaths from 1 up to 10. 1 in breath, 1 out breath is 1, and so on. But if you get distracted on the way towards 10, go back to 1 at that time. So let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. So now we can feel pleased with ourselves, as we should always be pleased with ourselves. Rejoice in our goodness, increase the goodness. We'll switch techniques now and we'll actually do the forgiveness meditation, just prior to the loving kindness meditation, just briefly. So you are sitting by yourself. You can be creative with these types of meditations. Up to you, whether you just want to sit with yourself or you can imagine yourself opposite you. Or you can be looking in a mirror, something like this. And you can think to yourself, I'm sorry for the things that I did that I shouldn't have done in the past. And I'm sorry for not doing some things that I should have done in the past. And you ask yourself for forgiveness. And then you think to yourself, yes, I do forgive myself for engaging in actions that I shouldn't have in the past, and for not engaging in certain actions that I should have in the past. I forgive myself. I can put down my mental baggage, lighten the mind, lighten the load. Now you can visualize somebody in front of you that has brought you harm in the past. The harm could be very intense, or it could be minor, or in between. It could be a physical harm, could be mental harm, emotional, environmental, or economical, and so on. And visualize and imagine that they say to you, I'm sorry for causing you harm in the past. I sincerely apologize. Please forgive me. And once again, putting down your mental baggage, you say to them, thank you for apologizing for harming me in the past. I do forgive you. We are now free, both of us free to move forward in our lives without carrying this mental baggage around. Now you can cease this part of the visualization and now visualize somebody in front of you that you have harmed in the past. And you say to them, I'm sorry for harming you in the past. I sincerely apologize. Please forgive me. And they say back to you, thank you for apologizing for harming me in the past. I do forgive you. And they say to you also something like, we are now both free to move forward in our lives without hanging on to any of this mental baggage. And you're both very happy now. Now you can cease this part of meditation practice, and we'll move on to loving kindness meditation. So fill yourself with universal loving kindness in the form of the white light. Fill your whole being with this universal loving kindness. Fill yourself with so much loving kindness that it now overflows and radiates outwards from your heart center and enters into the heart centers of your loved ones in front of you, filling their whole being with the universal loving kindness too. May they have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they be at peace. Now also include those you may regard as strangers. Do likewise. And also include those you may regard as enemies, and also do likewise. And now we can extend the loving kindness out further and further distance-wise, starting around your immediate area to all sentient beings now, not just the humans. So all the sentient beings that live in the waters, on the land, fly through the air, whether born from wombs, eggs, moisture, or through transformation. All sentient beings, whether weak or strong, great or small, short or tall, seen or unseen, near or distant, born or still to be born. May they all be happy, engage in the causes of happiness. May they all be free from suffering, free from engaging in the causes of suffering. May they all be peaceful. Now extend this loving kindness out further and further, throughout your whole state or county. And all of the states and counties throughout your country. And all of the countries throughout the world. To those you have an affinity towards, those you're indifferent towards, and those you have some negative feelings about. And have your loving kindness pervade throughout all of the oceans and other bodies of water, down to the core of the earth and to the outermost atmosphere. And beyond this planet, throughout the whole solar system and galaxy. And the universe and beyond. Have your loving kindness pervade throughout infinite space. Once again, we can rejoice and switch techniques again to the giving-taking meditation, compassion meditation, in Tibetan called Tonglen Gom. Remind you, Gom means meditation. Tonglen means giving-taking. Where we're going to take away all of the suffering of others and give them all of our goodness and happiness and so on. Freeing them from suffering, helping them be happy and on the path to enlightenment, have the conditions they need for this, and freeing ourselves from attachment, from self-centeredness and ignorance. So as we exhale, white light leaves our heart center and enters into the heart centers of all of the beings in front of you, filling them with the white light, filling them with the happiness and the good karma and so on, freeing yourself from attachment. And as you breathe in, black smoke leaves their heart center, enters into your heart center and melts away, melting away your ego and ignorance, freeing them from the suffering. So let's practice like this for a short while. Breathing in, breathing out. So now we can do the dedication prayer. Keep your heart filled with compassion and loving kindness. Free mind, spacious and open. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious bodhicitta, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of shunyata, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. So, we'll continue concluding this commentary on meditation and its benefits, getting to know your mind article. Just one page to go now to finish. And this next little bit, I think, is actually meditation instruction. So I'll just read through it because we just had some, didn't we? I don't need to give any commentary on that, that's for sure. Apart from this, the following is some simple instruction on meditation. Firstly, practice recitation of taking refuge in the triple gem: Buddha, the supreme enlightened teacher; Dharma, the teaching that leads to enlightenment; and Sangha, the supportive, harmonious community that upholds and shares the teachings, along with any other prayers, verses, and teachings that you are familiar with. So, well, I will give a bit of commentary on this, or conclusion on this. So taking refuge, obviously, is very important throughout the Dharma practice, throughout the whole path to enlightenment. And then, of course, you become Buddha, then people can take refuge in you and your teachings and your spiritual community. On a deeper level, of course, we are taking refuge in our own Buddha nature, in the truth, the ultimate truth, and also the fact that all sentient beings have Buddha nature and can attain enlightenment, unveil their sacred truth, you could say, unveil their true nature. The Buddha, obviously, of these times, Gautama Buddha or Sakyamuni Buddha, there's many names, Tathagata, and so on, Bhagavan, another one. And so of this time, this is this one Buddha in this world at this time. But of course, there's been many Buddhas from the past and will be Buddhas into the future, where as people realize their true nature, or as sentient beings realize their true nature. And so, in a sense, we're also taking refuge in Buddhas from the past, present, and into the future. And the Dharma is the teachings of the Buddhas, or Buddha, and that lead to enlightenment. But also the word Dharma can mean truth. So we are practicing the path to the truth, to realize the truth. Sangha means supportive, harmonious community. And this is the fourfold Sangha of bhikkhus, monks, bhikkhunis, nuns, upasaka, lay male practitioners, upasika, female lay practitioners. It's a mistake to say that the Sangha is only monks and nuns. It's been a mistake that's been said for quite a long time now, I think, maybe a few hundred years. But actually, this fourfold Sangha, the Buddha called it. In English, you could say that the monks and nuns and other Dharma teachers ordained, they are the ordained Sangha. And then you have the lay Sangha, okay? So important to note that and not be fooled. Because unfortunately, I think what it can do, it creates a gap. Now, of course, the people that live as monastics have more time to train, have the conditions, normally better conditions, in a temple, in forest, in the mountains, on the beach, to practice, more time to practice. And so they do need to have some separation in a certain sense, but not mentally. For the lay practitioner, for the monastic practitioners, we should always consider all sentient beings, to develop compassion, to develop love and kindness. Okay, so no separation in that sense. So it's important that we know that. Yes, you can practice in solitude, no problem, but you still have to develop loving kindness, develop compassion, realize, accumulate vast amounts of merits, and also to develop and realize the bodhicitta and the supreme wisdom. So the Buddha Dharma Sangha is the most precious thing in the known universe. It's not really things, but maybe it is things, phenomenon, phenomena, mental, But we practice as well physically, with our body, with our speech. We recite the prayer. I take refuge in Buddha, I take refuge in Dharma, I take refuge in Sangha, or in the other languages. Then other prayers and verses, kind of to hone your mind in, to absorb your mind with the Dharma, also to help you as you go into practicing meditation. I like to say it's like stretching before you have intense physical exercise. You stretch. So you kind of like stretching the mind, bringing the mind in, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, and so on, How long have we got? So whatever prayers that you know, that you find you have an attraction towards, utilize them just before you practice meditation. If you're out in public, maybe you don't want to make sound, do it in your mind, I'm always doing this when I'm walking on the beach. Sometimes there are people around, so I do it in my mind. Not that I worry what people think of me, but I don't want people to feel weird, Oh, this guy's talking to himself, Maybe they have negative feelings, negative thoughts. I don't want to be the indirect cause of their negative thoughts. So stay quiet, And so do these prayers like that, Yeah, that'll do. So Buddha Dharma Sangha, very important. Always take refuge. As soon as you take refuge and then you practice practices like meditation and so on, then it's Dharma practice. If you add bodhicitta, this is Dharma practice on the way to full awakening, okay? So sit quietly in a comfortable position, close your eyes, bring your mind to your body, and from the bottom to the top, release any physical tension. Tick, done that today. So that was an emoji, by the way. I didn't even know what an emoji was, and maybe a few years ago, I learned what it was. I never got engaged with them, but they're actually quite cute, aren't they? Then bring your mind to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Just simply follow your breath. Whenever thoughts arise or you become distracted, let go of the thoughts or distractions without force and gently place your mind back onto your breath. If your mind becomes dull or sleepy, just refocus more brightly on your breath. This way, replacing your mind on your breath becomes the antidote for both the distracted and worried mind, as well as the dull mind. Set yourself about 20 minutes to do this, although, as mentioned, you can meditate for as long as you like. Be patient with yourself. It gets easier with practice. Remember that even if we plan to walk around the whole world, we can only ever take one step at a time. I'll say a few things about that. Again, we think we can multitask. And in a sense, we can. I can talk and listen same time maybe, but not really. I can move this mouse around and talk at the same time, but not really complete. We can't really complete anything if we're trying to do too many things or even two things. We only complete one thing at a time. We breathe one breath at a time. We take one step at a time. You want to get to the top of the mountain? You have to take a step at a time, breathe one breath at a time. Now, of course, many years ago, a smart aleck teenager said, yeah, but I'll hire a helicopter. Yeah, but you've still got to walk into the helicopter, I told him. So even if we do that and get a helicopter, get an airplane, magic carpet, you still have to take one step at a time, breathe one breath at a time to achieve your goal. Now, let's say you go on a holiday. So often I think people are thinking of the destination rather than the journey it takes to get there. Thinking as soon as they get there, they get sick of it, they miss their home, they want to go back home. Maybe forget to pay attention to the journey back home. The old saying, life is pretty much a journey rather than a destination here, destination there. Just continuum, Okay. At the end of the meditation session, dedicate all of your merits to all sentient beings and the realization of supreme enlightenment. Another method of meditation that is recommended is loving kindness meditation. As in the previous instruction, begin by sitting quietly in a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Take as much time on each aspect as you need to genuinely experience and radiate warm, loving kindness. Extend genuine, warm, loving kindness and compassion to yourself, to your family, loved ones, and friends, to those you may regard as enemies, to those you may regard as strangers, to all sentient beings without exception, throughout infinite space. Wishing that we all have happiness and its causes, and that we are free from suffering and its causes, and that we all abide in genuine, warm, loving kindness and compassion. Along with your regular meditation sessions, so 1 minute 20 to go, along with your regular meditation sessions, you could also do what I like to call meditation in a cup, like 2 to 3 minute noodles or soup. Whenever you have a few minutes free time, whether you are standing, walking, sitting, or lying down, just focus on your breath. And for those of you who drive, you could practice what I like to call traffic light meditation. If you are out driving and stop at a traffic light, rather than wishing that the light turn green, calm your mind by focusing on your breath, but don't close your eyes. And of course, the passenger can practice the meditation too. So we'll leave it there. Pick it up next week. I rejoice in your goodness, meritorious goodness as always. Keep positive attitude, in your studies of the Dharma, your practice of the Dharma, the sharing of the Dharma. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha.